How's it going, fellow collectors? P Rockzilla back with another review, and today we're taking a look at an oldie. I mean, not really oldie. It came out a couple months back. I just never came across to reviewing it, so I wanted to go ahead and get this guy out the box already. So I figured let's get the review started for him already. I know it's been a bunch of reviews already for him, but you didn't get my perspective, so I figured you might enjoy this instead. All right, guys. So this is gonna be the NECA Gargoyles Goliath figure. And this is a new line from NECA that they're starting. This is the first figure they already released, or for pre-order at least, another version. And they announced that Brooklyn's going to be coming, the dog version. And I can't wait for that Brooklyn version because he actually comes with an extra accessory piece for Goliath right here, which is a back piece to kind of make his wings, when they're folded in the cartoon, they kind of like capes. So the Brooklyn's going to actually come with that piece for Goliath here, where you can basically put the wings on him like a cape. So I'm looking forward to that piece right there also. This is a cartoon I loved watching as a kid. It was different. Not only that, I love spicy food, so Goliath here comes with a jalapeno. So that's another thing that I like about this figure. So I'm super excited for this line. There's not many characters in the cartoon, so hopefully we're not gonna get bombarded with the figures from Gargoyles, but as long as we get the main cast, I'll be happy. So let's get this review started, people. Dale. Let's take a look at the box before we get the figure out the box. So on the front, you have a nice art from the cartoon. This is Goliath right there, awakening in the middle of the night. And this is what I mean about the piece that's supposed to come with Brooklyn. This is the piece that's going to come, where it looks like a cape instead of his actual wings. So I can't wait for that piece. Sorry, so we move it around the side here. We get a nice picture of Goliath right there. Move it to the back. You get a few poses with Goliath. Get the little jalapeno there. Yeah, I wish it was a habanero though. I'm to the point now where jalapeno is not even spicy to me. It's more like flavor. You get another picture of Goliath there. You get the legal information down here. The people who were involved in the figure. And then you get the Goliath Gargoyles logo up there. And then if you open up the flap in the front, you get another picture of Goliath there with the wings on. And there's the man himself. And there's Goliath right there. And there's the jalapeno. All right, people. Let's get the figure out the box. Okay, so when you get the figure out the box, this is what you have here. And inside the box is actually a cool backdrop in there that looks pretty cool right there back in the back of the box. So I didn't see that before. All right, so let's get the box out the way. And let's look at the figure. Okay, so right here, as you can see, you get Goliath right here. You get his tail, which is bendy. You get the hands, the book, the jalapeno, the different head sculpt. And then under there, you get his wings. And these things are huge. I could have sworn they came with, maybe not. So there's the wings. Just want to show you guys how it looks inside the package. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything out so we can look at a detailed look at the figure and all the accessories. There's Goliath laid out with all his accessories. Now, one thing I can say I'm a little disappointed about is the fact that he didn't come with a base or a stand. I could have sworn it did come with a base or a stand, because you had NECA had the Ninja Turtles wing nut and screw loose, and that came with a stand and base. And I'm pretty sure if I want to have this guy in a flight pose, in order to have the wings on, I gotta have him up in the air. So a little miss there from NECA, but hey, whatever. I got some 6 scale or some other type of stands that I can actually use that would probably work better because it's a little more dynamic. But let's take a look at what we did get. So let's take a look at Goliath, of course, first. And the one thing I can say about NECA is their paint application is very good. You can see the different hues of the purple on his chest, all over his body. So it's not just one color. It's different palettes on there. So I like that. You can see more of the shadowing too, like the same thing by the muscle definition on the legs. And you can see this looks exactly like Goliath from the cartoons. NECA does an awesome job when it comes to like cartoon figures. Not so much the movie, like live action, but in my opinion, when it comes to the cartoon stuff, they hit it out the park. So look at the detail. You can see the hair sculpt right here. You can see a little different color there. You can see the muscle. This guy is diesel, man. Look at the muscle definition all over his back. Now this part right here is like a soft plastic, so it is a little bit malleable, so that's good. So it shouldn't hit in there or anything. And then you get the legs. Never really noticed how, maybe, I wonder if this is supposed to be like that. I don't know. We'll take more during our articulation. All right, so let's look at the figure. And let's go with the articulation. So the hands. Now with the NECA figures, you got to remember, every NECA collector knows that there tends to be QC issues where either there's too much paint in the joints. As you can see right there's a little bit of something in there. And a lot of times that makes the joints hard to move. So you got to either get a hair dryer and heat it up to move it. Or what I tend to do is I just get the warm water, dip the figure, the joint or the area that needs to be moved more. I dip that area in the water for 10 seconds, then dry it off, and then from there I'm able to move it. So let's see how far this guy can pose. So looks like he might be limited on how far, so he can't do a T pose. I don't want to push it too much, but it's how far I can get it out. He does have bicep swivel, as you can see here. He gets, elbows are pretty tight there. So I'm not sure if he gets a full, yeah, it doesn't get a full double bend, so that's a little hindered there. It looks like it could, but for some reason, you know, it's not because the paint. I mean, maybe I could do it more. I just don't want to damage it. Let's try this hand. So yeah, so you could bend more. Like I said, see, this is one of those situations where I might have to heat that up just to get that bend without breaking that joint, because I can feel some tension there. Looks like this joint right here is not coming out like this joint. All right, so I mess around with that, and now my hand, this one right here, feels very loose. I feel like the peg could just easily come right off. So hopefully when I swap out the hands, I don't have issues with the loose wrist peg there. So you do get articulation at the wrist. You do get articulation at the waist. So let's see. You can move sideways a little bit like that. You can move to there. Let's see, does he get not much back? Can't move back much, but he does get decent ab crunch. So not much articulation for Goliath here. He could do a split. So he could do that. And then, oh, that's right, the tail does go there. I was say that was kind of funky there. That's where the tail will go. Oh, look at that, see? Look at that paint chipping off already. This is known for NECA. So then you can put the legs all the way up. He can kind of do a, you know, sideways split. As you see more paint coming off. The knees do get decent bend. And then you do get bend at the ankle. You can bend it up forward that much. Actually, just bend the leg back. You can bend it forward that much. And then you can bend it back about that much. You do get toe articulation too. So the toes, start off there, you can get it up a little bit more higher. And you can get it fully down like that. So that's nice. All right. So let's go ahead and bring his hands down. I just want to go ahead and try. I got to heat up that joint when I get off camera. So let's go ahead and attach the tail while we're looking at it. Let's take a quick look at the tail first. So the tail, this is like a big Mewtwo tail. So as you can see, you know, this is where the bending wire is at. So the only thing fearful about this, and I've known other NECA figures where if you bend it too much, sometimes the wire could start breaking through the plastic. So you don't want to bend that too much. And as you can see here, there's articulation. Oh, yeah, it's tight. Right there. There's articulation right there. And you can see. So let's go ahead and attach the tail to good old Goliath. So as you'll see at the culo point, there's a hole right there. And you basically just stick the tail into there. May have to heat this up too. All right, there we go. I mean, I can get in there more. Just got to be in the angle. There we go. I can get in there more. So there goes the tail. That's when it's straight in the morning. All right, so take a look at that. Let me go ahead and take a look at everything else that he comes with. I'll go ahead and just put the tail back later. I'm gonna clean up all this loose paint. So he does come with another hand, and I'm pretty sure this is the hand that holds the jalapeno. And here's the jalapeno. I love that we finally get a jalapeno in figure form. I wish we get more spices. And then he has the 2 closed fists, or what I call the dapping hands. He comes with the book. Now the book doesn't close or the pages don't turn, but there is good paint application on here. And there is some scriptures in there, as you can see. He does come with a secondary head sculpt, and this is when he's more angry and the pupils disappear where his eyes get all white, which more than likely I'm going to keep him posing this because this is the way I like my Goliath. Same thing with the hair, same pattern as the other one. And then you get the big wings. So we'll take a look at the wings. Now this, like a hard plastic. It is a little bit softer here, so you could feel it bend a little bit, but I wouldn't bend it too much as you don't want to break it. But you can see the good paint application on there and the good details. Let's see something if I bring my brightness up a little bit. No, yeah, maybe so. So as you can see, a little bit more of the detail there. Let's see, I bring this down, and you can still see it. So there we go. That's the outside of the wing. This is the inside of the wing. And you can see the little veins. So that's pretty cool. And you get articulation right here, which mine's, of course, is hard. Man, look at that. Oh, that's supposed to be ratchets or not? Yep, so it's only supposed to be a ratchet joint. Pretty tight there. And the same thing with the other wing. Nice detail. There we go. All right, guys, and ladies, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these accessories on him, and we'll do a quick size comparison. And there we have Goliath standing in a default pose, ready for size comparison. So let's go ahead and bring in another NECA figure, and this is the NECA cartoon Muckman. So there goes Muckman next to Goliath. And let's bring in a Super 7 Ninja Turtles Shredder. And there we have Shredder. Let's go ahead and bring in some different lines. And this is going to be the 3-0 Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie. And last but not least, let's bring in the SH Figure Arts. And this is going to be the SH Figure Arts Cooler. So here we go. Bunch of figures from different lines and from the same line with a good size comparison. And as you can see, Goliath stands pretty good compared to them. He's actually the same size as Bumblebee, which is pretty cool because Goliath is a big guy. And what helps him out too is basically his feet, his ankles. So there he goes, guys. Now you know how he fits in your collection. Let's go ahead and get the final thoughts and final poses. Here we have Goliath posed with the wings on. Now the wings were not that hard to get on. Once you clip them in, you would hear a snap and let you know that they're basically fully in there. In order to get this pose right here with the wings all the way down, I had to, if you could probably see in the back portion of the wing, I had to kind of like disconnect them a little bit in order to get the wings all the way down to overlap the two underneath it and the back behind his hair. But they weren't hard at all. The hand joint on mine is still loose. I haven't swapped out the hands just yet to see if it's the peg or if it's the actual hand portion. The accessories fit his hand fine, no problem. The tail was a little pain in the butt to put on just because once you put it in, it goes in an angle and you have to like kind of readjust it. And then the bendy wire doesn't bend as much as I would like it to. Maybe I didn't bend it too hard. Like I said, I'm fearful of it ripping through the plastic, but it didn't bend as much. And it's kind of hard to find a way to hide those little holes. Originally, I had it flipped up the other way, but when you saw him stand from the front, you saw the little holes on his tails. So I figured since I have him displayed, you're not going to see him from the back, so I flipped it the other way so you don't see the holes on the tail. Other than that, he seems pretty good. Like I said, I did have issues. I still got to loosen up that elbow joint on the right arm. I haven't done that just yet. But I will do that, before I get him posed up in my shelf. There we have Goliath with the base and stand he should have came with. Now with my own personal base and stand, I can have him displayed in his awesome flying pose. The wingspan of this figure is awesome. I love the way they come out. Now, the only negative I can say about the wings that I wish that they could redo on the upcoming figures, if you look back there, you see how far out the hair sticks out? That's because the wings are underneath there, and there's no way to tuck the hair underneath the wings since it's like a hard plastic. And due to that, it's causing the figure to not be able to look up. He can only look up. That's how far up he can look. I kind of want to have him looking up more as if he's flying up towards the air. But couldn't get that done, as you can see there, because of the wings. I tried adjusting the wings, moving the wings around to try to get that pose, but doesn't work too good. Another issue I see too is that when I try to open the wings, they flap them back more. It keeps pulling on that hair. So I mean, maybe someone in the comments could tell me how they worked around that. I just did figure out the box, so I'll mess around with some more, see if I can figure out a way to kind of get the hair out the way, so I can articulate the head a little more with the wings out. But I gotta say, man, NECA knocked it out the park with this figure. He is awesome looking. My wrist peg is loose. It looks like the hole is too big on that right hand wrist. So no matter when I swap the hands out, it's still loose no matter what hand I use. So it's just something I gotta adjust with. You know, it's easy fix. Just adjust the hand a certain way. But I mean, I don't regret this purchase. This is a cool figure. I'm happy that they're gonna continue with the line and give us more of the Gargoyle figures. This is more like, you know, not 6 scale stuff that, you know, I used to collect before I jumped into the 6 scale community or collecting. And there's still some figures like, you know, smaller scale that I still can't give up. So I got to collect some of these. I don't want to just be, you know, hindered to myself to just 6 scale only. So I'm happy with this pickup. I can't wait for the other figures to come out from this line. More likely I'm not going to get them all, since I'm trying to, you know, cut back on my small scale figures. So I'll probably just get all the Gargoyles they release, and then I forget the name of the detective character. I'll definitely get her, and then maybe if they release like a villain or two, I'll probably pick those up also. But other than that, I have Goliath here. I'm happy I have him. Can't wait to have him on my display with the wings spread like that. So as always, people, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit that subscribe, like button, click that bell notification. And as always, from one friendly neighborhood collector to another, keep collecting, stay safe, be good, dale.